This is an absolute wild shed right here. I mean, it is just gnarly and got stuff everywhere on its base. I believe it's got an 8.5 inch mass measurement down here. And then it kind of grew some funky stuff here on the outside, but it goes 120 some inches, and that's from Fairfield County. Hi, I'm Jonathan York. Welcome to my Whitetail Crib. Been collecting a good while. It's probably been 10 plus years now that I've been collecting on the trophy side of things. One of those things that led into it from where I've been shed hunting, personal properties and private properties and public land. Some of them are, from 150s to 200, and it's turned into a passion, to kind of keep that heritage alive, with the whitetail. One of those things where, you get a little bit of camaraderie too, when you're out walking and finding sheds with friends, and me and my girls and Amanda do it now, and I love the look and the excitement that, it brings them. This is Miss Amanda. This is Jalen, my oldest. Jessa, my middle age. And this is little Oakland Jade. This is, Jackson, we call him Bad Jackson. He's the first set that I've ever went into the record book with. Found him while I was surveying. We was up in Jackson County, Ohio. Run upon him while we surveying, and ended up having him mounted, and sheds go in the record book both sides. He broke a sticker off over here on this side, and then he has two right here on this side. But other than that, he's clean typical. He went into the record book at 174 plus. He's just a shade under 175 is what he scored. All these sheds that you see here and up on the shelves, and these and the ones back here behind you on the kitchen cabinets, those are all personal finds. All right, we'll move on into my bedroom, and I'll show you some more of my personal finds hanging up. So these are some of my personal finds. This set right here in the middle, we found after my mom died that spring. They was laying tines down and tying up. One side went 63, the other side went 64. And the year before we found it, it was on the pond bank over at Glenn and Bryce's, and it went 70 inches one side. Only found one side. And then Amanda, her set over here on the end, she smoked that deer in her Jeep traveling down the road. So that's actually Amanda's first set. So now we're gonna move on upstairs and show you some of the bigger deer that we have up there. So this deer right here, this is a set of sheds that were found and were mounted. The gentleman that found them, this is the last set. He's got 3 sets off of them, and this set went 222 plus as his last set. So this is his first year set that he found off of them. And that was 2015, and he went 145 plus. His second set turned into a whopper, and that was 2016, and that went 175 plus. And then you can see his triple brow that he started around right here, and it carried over to this one. So between the put on in each year, there was 30 some inches, and then it went to 50 some inches just between the 3 sets that he grew. And like I said, his final set went 222 plus, and that was his biggest and final set. So this buck right here, Ohio does not have a velvet season. We cannot take any deer in velvet, but this is actually a set of sheds that were found. And when they were found, they were measured out at 217 plus. And the gentleman that found them, he always wanted a velvet buck. So he had the fake velvet put on, and once it was on there, he had them mounted. And the following year, he found that buck dead. This year that he found those sheds, it went 217 plus. The following year, he found it dead, and it really regressed on antler growth to the point where they really had to look at it, and they finally figured out that it was this deer. So we'll take a walk over here, and we'll check out some of the mule deer and some of the elk I have over here. So this one right here is a Colorado mule deer. This was a harvest. He's got a really good color, and he's a really clean typical. He doesn't have any cheaters on him, and he goes 195 on the net. And this one over here is a Montana. You can see it's an actual deadhead. And then right here in the middle, a couple big mule deer sheds. The center set is the Hubble sheds, Ted Hubble out of Wyoming. And the single from the net following year is the one hanging below. So this is Barry. And as you can see, he needs to go to Jenny Craig. He's kind of a bigger fella. But these are all Canada black bear. As you can see, he was kind of a scrapper. He's got a scar right here, a couple scars right here on his face. And there's up there while you're hunting in Canada, I mean, there's a lot of these bear will rush the tree, and if they don't smell, they smell something that's off. Kind of the thing that happened with this bear here. Some of them younger ones, they kind of get a little bit of an attitude, and that's what happens up there. As far as hunt wise, I mean, it's a really good hunt when you go to Canada on black bear. I'd say it's probably a favorite hunt, and I'd say it's about like when I go to Florida to hunt gator, it's probably one of my favorite hunts there. These are Yukon sheds from moose. So I've got a big paddle right here. Still got a chocolate side on it. And then the front side is, as you can see, pretty bleached out. It laid a while. Actually got some porcupine chews on it. This is not a personal find. This is one that I purchased through a friend, and it's kind of stayed here with me. One of my favorite moose sheds right here. This is one that I purchased. It's actually it's leaning up against the wall, but it's a self-stander. If you would take it and put it by itself, it'll stand right there in the middle of the floor and won't fall over. So it's a really good shed for a moose paddle. And then I've got a little Alaskan set right here that's perfect color. Doesn't have any bleaching at all. As you can see, the blacks are still or the backs of them are still chocolate. So what everybody's been waiting for, let's go on down. We'll check out the big room. So over the years, some of my personal finds with the shed hunting and some of the deadheads I've found over the years, these are the ones that made the cut. I think I have somewhere around the 60 mark on all of them that I found over the years that have been tagged. And these are some of my better ones. This is the Nemesis buck right here. It's just an old buck. I mean, he died. We never found sheds off of him, and he ended up dying of just old age. Another good one here, when I worked for the water company in Adams County, this is the first buck I decided I was going to go after and hunt down there. And 3 days before season come in, I seen him at the security gate, and he was trailing a doe. And the next thing I know, the day of season coming in, I found him hit by a car down in the hayfield. So the coyotes kind of finished him off, and the buzzards were picking at him. But that was one of the first deer that I was going to go after down at the water company. This is another water company buck. We believe he died with EHD. You can still see all of his beating is sharp. So that's kind of a good indication that he died in velvet. A couple other ones. I got found one in Ross County, Ohio. I was on a survey crew up in the Tar Hollow State Reserve up there, and we ended up finding this buck laying dead in the creek. It was iced over. There was that much ice, and I seen 3 tines sticking out of the ice. That's the only way I knew it was a buck. So I'd seen the spine hanging over a log jam, and when I looked over in the ice, I seen 3 tines sticking out. So had no idea it was that big of a buck. But he went high 150s and has kind of take him with me everywhere, when I go to shows. As you can see, there's a couple funky ones I found over the years. This is the last one I found at the water company. We was on a cross-country pipeline, and I found that one. Pretty amazing, some of the deer you'll find in the country, in the open country, when you're working. So this is the Williams buck out of Adams County here. He was killed over around the 247 area, State Route 247. He's a 160s, high 160s buck, got good mass, but he's a 9 point, so he doesn't net very well. But he's a good chocolate rack, got good mass. And this is another one come off close to my mom's place up there in Peebles. This one, we call him Willy Wonka. And as you can see, his racks is just absolutely dark in color. So pretty big fan of them, especially if you can find them here in Ohio that dark. So this is a newer one that just come into the collection. He's a high 150s buck. This is the Caleb Stevens buck. This is the Acord 10. Made the record book with him as sheds. His acorn tip right here is what pushed him into the record book, that little bit. Of course, you got heavy Chevy. He's a 180s buck. He got hit by a Chevy Silverado, so it absolutely annihilated the truck. This is a buck we call Flames. This is a Ross County set. And then this is Tank. He come up there close to off of my mom's place up there in Peebles. So he's just a clean, typical buck. He's a good buck, but he's not a very big buck. And now we'll move on over here into the big collection. So this buck right here, he's been dubbed the Blue Creek Beast. He's a beautiful typical, and he's an old era buck. He's just a clean typical. I mean, it's hard to find him like that anymore. But you can see he's also broke a brow tine off, and he's right at 200 just with his brow tine broke off. This buck was shot by a gentleman by the last name of Knopf down in Blue Creek, and it was sold in his estate when he passed away. So it resides now with Kelly Jones. He ended up buying that out of the estate, and then we have it here. So this is over the top shed. You guys probably seen it from the podcast. It has a kind of a similar shed, a partner there. That's the Derek Daniel shed. You can see the G2 on that, just matching. This is one that just come into the collection here this year, very recent. So this is what we call the Bentonville Behemoth, and it was found by Clayton Cole. And we also found out that the match side has been found, but it resides with a hunter out in Indiana. So say here in the near future, I'm gonna try to make contact and try to match that up and try to get it into the collection too as well. But this has not been officially scored. It's gonna go to the Iowa Deer Classic this year. This is the Fairfield County. This is an absolute wild shed right here. I mean, it is just gnarly and got stuff everywhere on its base. I believe it's got an 8.5 inch mass measurement down here. And then it kind of grew some funky stuff here on the outside, but it goes 120 some inches, and that's from Fairfield County. Matt Beard owns the original shed. This is a replica. So we got this shed right here. It's a long beam. It's almost 29 inches on the long beam. It's just a beautiful typical and good color too as well. So I ended up purchasing this one from a friend out in Idaho, Seth. And this shed is actually from Indiana, and it's the same county that the Huff buck was shot and harvested. And it goes 82 inches. This is another shed that went into the collection. It's we deemed it the Predator shed off of the movie. It's got a hooked brow on it, got some stickers down at the bottom. If you turn it this way, you can see all the stuff it's got going on here. Got a flyer, a drop, and got some other stickers going on here. But it goes right at 100 inches. Here's a pretty neat set right here. This has come out of Butler County, Ohio, and it is an absolute clean typical. This set is elite for Ohio. It made the elite club, and it's 175 inches with spread credit. So for all you Iowa fans, we've got a set here. We call it the Dagger set, and this is a kind of a tight rack. It doesn't have much of a curl to it, but it definitely has some daggers, and he's got a matching, the other matching side has daggers, but he's broke them off, and he's also broke a flyer off his G2 here. This shed right here is in your middle 80s is what it goes. So this set right here is the mushroom set. This is the set that was also on the podcast. This set right here has 32 inch beams, and if I'm not mistaken, it ranks pretty high in the standings for Ohio on beam length. As far as we know, this buck was never found. The sheds were found by a young man there in Highland County, and he ended up selling to his barber. He's got a drop tine, one little split brow, and a flyer, and that's all the non-typical he has. But his mass is crazy. He has he's right at 200 inch is what that set goes with a spread credit. All right, so what we got over here is the knife handle buck. This was what he grew his second year, and then this is the first knife handle. He's one of your Legends typical bucks for the U.S. You can tell he's just a beautiful, clean typical. He does have a split brow on each ear. He does have a split here. Both of these sheds are well over 100 inches. One is more close to 110, the original, the first shed, and this one is not far behind it. This is another Iowa shed. It goes 91 inches, and this is a purchased shed. I acquired this off of Jared Dalton, a good friend out there in Iowa. He's also a collector. He gave me the opportunity to get it, so we decided to put it into the collection, but it goes 91 inches. So here's one of my favorite sheds right here. This come out of Canada, and as you can see, it has got that Canada color. It's got a wicked brow on it. It's got some stickers here on the front, down close to his base, but he's just a clean 5 frame, and this one's in the 90s. So this is one that you guys are probably familiar with. This is the OG buck. This is one of his replicas. Matt Beard owns the majority of his antlers, and I had the opportunity to get a replica of it. It's a well over 100-inch shed as well. As you can see, one of his tines is bent down and growing that way. He's got a drop tine right here. He's got a flyer also on his G2. That deer was a absolute giant, and he's just right over here. He was right over here in Pike County, the next county over. They found sheds off of him, and I mean, there's nothing. I mean, that nobody ever found him, nobody ever harvested him. So this shed right here is the restitution shed. It's the one I also talked about in the podcast. It's 85 inches, and this is the one that was poached there in Peebles, and it's one of my favorite sheds here in the collection, and it's a beautiful, clean, typical. So this shed right here, it's got some really good color, and this come out of Missouri. This is the Darren Stump shed, and you can see it's got some funky stuff going on back here. He's broke this off, and then he's kind of got a common base on both of these, but it's still a tank of a shed. So here's another Midwest state there. This is out of Kansas, and you can see its pedicle drop on him. It drops down and gives a kind of a hook to it, but he's on a clean mainframe 4. Here's another favorite of mine. It's this come out of the Greg Rideout collection. We call this one T-Rex. As you can see, he's got really good mass, good color. He's got a split brow, big frame, and he's right there at your 80-inch mark. Here's another Canadian shed, and this one come out of the Willie Teo's collection. I've had this one a long time. It's a beautiful, beautiful 4-point, and it scores in the 70s on the clean frame. Here's one of the smaller sheds. This is an Indiana shed as well, and this is a Nick Fletcher shed, and it come out of Indiana. He's got some stickers going on down here. Comes up to a decent brow and kind of a weaker G2, and then he's got a big old twisted flamed G3 on him, and this shed goes in the 70s as well. This is a Brown County shed, Brown County, Ohio. This is the Ag Pro 5. Lane Williams was the finder of this shed. I walked into the dealership over there in Georgetown one day, and I seen these sheds sitting here, and I thought, well, that's pretty good sheds. Actually, Lane give them to me, and I'm pretty thankful. But it's a big old shed. It's got a heck of a brow on it, but he did bust his G4 off right here while it was on the deer, and he's got a flyer and a little sticker right here. This is for Mr. Jake at Exodus. This is a home state shed for him. This is the Illinois Brute. Got some good tall tines on it, and his flyer and the one right here on this beam, they are non-scoreable. They're under an inch, so he's classified as a 4, mainframe 4, and he is high 70s. So we got another Canadian 6 here, and this one acquired from Chris Divis out west. He had this shed for a little while, and this is also going to be one that goes to Iowa Deer Classic this year, and it's going to be officially scored. This set right here is the Holden sheds. They were found in Brown County, Ohio, close to Fayetteville, and it's another clean, beautiful, typical set. The only little bit of irregular he has is the flyer that comes off his G2, and this set is in the low 70s on each side. So I was talking a little bit about the water company. When I worked for them, I'd found some sheds down there on the well field, and this is one set of them. He's a young buck. I ain't even sure he's alive still, but he's a really good buck, got good color, found the sheds in time, as you can see. But he started a little drop tine here, and he's just got some real good tine on him. So these are this is the Jason Galbraith set, and these come out towards Cincinnati is where he was and where he found this. Jason's a good friend of mine now, so I met with him and ended up purchasing these sheds off of him. But I've not scored any of these. I'm sure these are probably right at that 70 mark. So I know there's a lot of people out there that like big 8s. This was a buck that was actually found dead on 32. I was actually heading to McDonald's to go get something to eat, and I seen it in the sunlight. A couple people in the area was hunting him, but he ended up getting hit by a car, and I pulled over, and the lady ended up telling me I could have the deer. So the State Highway Patrol wrote a tag for me, and I decided to go ahead and take it straight to my taxidermist. And when I got to the taxidermist, the Brown County warden pulled in. He asked me what I was going to do with the deer, and then he proceeded to tell me that he was going to take the deer after I'd already had a tag. So as you can see, I only ended up with the cape and the horns, but they ended up taking that deer for CWD testing. So I was pretty bummed out, but still thankful to get that deer. So here's another nice shed. This one goes 86, and we call this the Double Trouble shed. I bought this off of Brian Gallus out of the West there. And as you can see, he's got double inlines, and he's broke one of them off. This is the Scioto G3 buck, and we took it out to Iowa there last year, and it has an impressive G3 on it, as you can see, and it's right at 80 inches. Got a real small, short, weak G2. So this is the buck we call Crawdad. You can see he's got a little crab claw right here on the end. Really good shed. This is also one that Greg Rideout found on the same farm. This is the other one that Greg Rideout found on his farm. We call this one Mr. Biggs. Perfect color, a real heavy antler, and just a real nice antler. Big mass, but it's on a 5 frame. Started to grow a sticker down here and one up here on his beam, and he's got a little bit of a split on his brow, and that is right at the 80-inch mark. So here's a kind of a more of a western and northern state. This is the North Dakota 4, and it's got kind of a split G2 there. It's got a flyer coming off, but it's a real heavy antler. I was impressed with it, and it is also in the high 70s as a 4. So here's just an absolute monster of a 3. He's got good color, a good brow, good G2. Man, I'll tell you what, it would be an absolute tank of a buck. He had the other side as a 3 as well if it matched. This is actually almost touching the 60 mark on this one. This one right here is the Dustin Crothers shed. It's a beautiful 4-point side. I worked with Dustin at the water company. Just about every day we would be shed hunting or looking for sheds while we was out in the country working. And this is one that he found when he got home from work as he was driving up his driveway. And that shed right there goes almost 67 inches. Definitely has a little bit of a sticker down here on the base, and he's got one coming off the base of his brow. So this buck right here is the Jackal and Hyde buck. It would come off of southern Adams County down there close to Blue Creek, actually where Rudd's Christmas tree farm was. And as you can see, one side of him is just absolutely got splits, a blowhole, flyer, and it's all on a 4 frame. And then his other side is completely typical. I mean, it's clean as can be. So that's kind of how the buck got the Jackal and Hyde name. 2 years prior to this buck being killed and harvested by Phil Lawrence, this buck was shot on the same farm. And as you can tell, we believe that this deer was this deer was the offspring of this deer. He's got a pretty good frame, but as you can see, he's got the hooked brow and he's got some funky stuff going on over here. So this buck right here come out of Iowa. There's actually three sets off of him. This is the Sam Willett set. It's the biggest and the only one that has the major drop tines on it. So this one went 255 plus on inches, and he's got 3 drop tines on each side. The following year when he was harvested, he was known as the Rinker buck. He still had some drop tines, but not as many. But he's kept that mass throughout everything. But the double drop tines is what he's known for, and he went 255 plus. And this is a replica. So this one right here is the hole in the horn. It's kind of put Ohio on the map. It was found in the 1940s, found on the railroad track, and it was found dead. It has a hole through this drop tine right here. And as of my understanding, it's number 1 through the United States, and it's number 2 with US and Canada. There's one bigger in Canada. So he went 328 and change. This one right here is the Amish buck, the Jonathan Schmucker buck. It went 295 and 3/8, and then it also goes 304 and change. So it depends on what scoring club you're with. There are previous year's sheds off of this one and a previous one to that set. So this is one of the bucks that really put Adams County on the map, and it is one of my dream bucks. I am very thankful to have it, but it is also a replica along with the hole in the horn buck. This one right here, Everybody knows it. It's the Kansas King. I mean, it is just an absolute beautiful buck for the U.S. Clean, typical, and it goes 217 on its score. As far as typical wise, I mean, you couldn't dream of a better one. There's possibly a shed out there. It's still yet to be confirmed on it, whether it is to this buck, but it definitely has some characteristics that resemble it. And it was in that area, and I believe Tom Sexton done some of the repair work for it. So this buck right here was killed in Adams County by Lear McCoy. It was just an absolute beautiful buck. We were surveying one morning for Chad and Lear was hunting with Don Wilson inside of the perimeter of the property in the center. And as we were working our way through an exterior property line, we run across the buck about 40 minutes after Lear had shot it. So there was obviously a little bit of chaos there that morning, but it all worked out good, and we was able to get Lear and get back down there. And the three of us, me, Jeremy Wallingford, and Lear, was able to watch the buck for about 15 minutes before it expired. It was a 220s plus deer, beautiful buck. And Lear, I mean, he just, year after year, he continues to kill and harvest good deer.